You're listening to the Everything Jewish 10 Minutes at a Time podcast, where you'll learn about every Jewish topic imaginable in about 10 minutes. Today's topic is the Roman Conquest of Judea. Before we begin, a quick apology about pronunciation. If any Hebrew names or ancient places sound slightly unusual today, please remember the research is human, but the voice delivering it is an AI voice that learned pronunciation the same way people learn recipes from the internet. Sometimes it comes out like gourmet cooking, and sometimes the kugel looks like it should be studied in a laboratory. Either way, the history is solid. The Roman conquest of Judea is one of the most important turning points in Jewish history. It marks the moment when the land of Israel became tied to the vast Roman Empire, setting the stage for political tensions, rebellions, and eventually the destruction of the Second Temple. If you think ancient history sounds distant, imagine a small nation suddenly getting absorbed into the most powerful superpower of its time. That kind of situation rarely stays calm for long. The story really begins before the Romans even arrive. By the 1st century BCE, the Hasmonean dynasty that had ruled Judea after the Maccabean Revolt was weakening. Internal rivalries and political conflicts were tearing the kingdom apart. Two brothers from the ruling family, Hyrcanus II and Aristobulus II, both wanted the throne. Instead of settling their dispute privately, they did something that usually ends badly in politics. They invited a powerful outsider to intervene. That outsider happened to be Rome. At the time, Rome was expanding across the Mediterranean and had already become a dominant military force. The Roman general Pompey was campaigning in the region when both brothers appealed to him for support. Pompey listened, evaluated the situation, and decided Rome might as well take control of the entire territory while he was there. In 63 BCE, Pompey marched into Jerusalem with Roman forces. The city resisted briefly, but Roman troops eventually captured it. According to ancient historian Josephus, the fighting even reached the temple precinct itself. When the battle ended, Pompey entered the temple. Interestingly, although he walked into the Holy of Holies, which was the most sacred inner chamber, he did not remove its treasures. That detail surprised many observers because conquerors often looted temples. Still, the conquest had enormous consequences. Judea did not remain an independent kingdom after this moment. Instead, it became a client state under Roman influence. The Hasmonean ruler Hyrcanus II kept a limited role, but real political power increasingly depended on Roman approval. Imagine running a business where every major decision requires approval from corporate headquarters across the ocean. That was roughly the political situation Judea found itself in after Pompey's conquest. Roman control brought stability in some ways, but tension in others. Rome preferred order, taxes, and predictable governance. The Jewish population of Judea, however, had strong religious traditions and legal structures rooted in Torah law. Balancing Roman imperial expectations with Jewish religious life proved difficult. Over time, Roman officials appointed local rulers who could manage the region on their behalf. One of the most famous was Herod the Great, who ruled as a Roman-supported king beginning in 37 BCE. Herod was an ambitious builder and political strategist. He expanded the temple complex in Jerusalem into a massive architectural wonder and constructed cities, fortresses, and ports across the region. Yet his loyalty to Rome and his sometimes ruthless rule made him controversial among many Jews. The Roman conquest therefore created a political system in which local leaders governed Judea, but ultimately answered to imperial authority. After Herod's death in 4 BCE, his kingdom was divided among his sons. This arrangement did not work smoothly. Within a few decades, parts of Judea came under direct Roman administration. Roman governors, known as prefects or procurators, were appointed to oversee the region. One of these officials was Pontius Pilate, whose name later became widely known through Christian texts. Roman governors were responsible for collecting taxes, maintaining order, and representing imperial authority. Most of the time, they tried to avoid provoking local unrest, but tensions frequently erupted. Roman symbols and military presence sometimes clashed with Jewish religious sensitivities. Even small misunderstandings could escalate into major disputes because the population strongly valued religious autonomy and the Romans prioritized political control. During the 1st century CE, resentment toward Roman rule continued to grow. Economic pressures, heavy taxation, and religious tensions all contributed to frustration among segments of the population.
Introducing America's Workforce Academy, built by Meta. Paid training, a job, and a path to America's future. Because the future is for everyone. Learn more at meta.com/America's Workforce Academy.
Various Jewish groups responded differently. Some favored cooperation with Roman authorities, believing stability was the best option. Others hoped for political independence and occasionally organized resistance movements. The most famous revolt began in 66 CE when widespread rebellion broke out across Judea. Jewish forces initially achieved surprising successes against Roman troops. For a brief moment, it seemed possible that the region might break free from imperial control. However, Rome responded with overwhelming military force. Roman legions led by generals Vespasian and later his son Titus systematically reconquered the region city by city. The climax of the conflict came in 70 CE with the siege of Jerusalem. Roman forces surrounded the city and eventually breached its defenses. The fighting was brutal, and the city suffered enormous destruction. The most devastating event was the burning of the Second Temple. The temple had stood as the central religious institution of Jewish life for centuries. Its destruction transformed Judaism forever. Without the temple, sacrificial worship could no longer continue. Jewish religious leadership gradually shifted toward rabbinic scholars who focused on prayer, study, and law rather than temple rituals. In that sense, the Roman conquest indirectly pushed Judaism toward the form it largely takes today. The tragedy of the temple's destruction also became a central theme in Jewish memory and liturgy, especially during the fast day of Tisha B'Av. Roman rule did not end Jewish resistance entirely. Decades later, another major uprising occurred under the leader Simon Bar Kokhba between 132 and 135 CE. For a short time, rebels again established independent control over parts of the region. Eventually, Roman legions crushed the revolt with devastating consequences. Large portions of the Jewish population were killed or dispersed, and Roman authorities renamed the province Syria Palaestina. Jerusalem itself was rebuilt as a Roman city called Aelia Capitolina. Jews were largely barred from entering it. These policies dramatically reshaped the demographic and political landscape of the region. Jewish life increasingly developed in diaspora communities across the Roman world. Even so, Jewish culture and identity continued to thrive, despite the loss of political independence. Rabbinic academies flourished in places such as Yavna and later in Babylonia. Scholars compiled teachings that eventually formed the Mishnah and later the Talmud. These texts preserved legal traditions, stories, and interpretations that became central to Jewish life for centuries. In a way, the Roman conquest unintentionally accelerated the transformation of Judaism from a temple-centered religion into a portable tradition focused on study, prayer, and community. That adaptability helped Jewish culture survive long after Roman political dominance faded. So the Roman conquest of Judea was not simply a military event. It was a turning point that reshaped Jewish history, religious practice, and the geographic spread of Jewish communities. A small kingdom became part of a global empire, conflict erupted, and the resulting changes influenced Jewish life for thousands of years. Thank you for listening to the Everything Jewish 10 Minutes at a Time podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please forward it to a friend who might enjoy it, or leave a positive review so others can discover the podcast. If you are listening on YouTube, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so new episodes arrive early along with special bonus episodes.